Hello, everybody. Welcome to your love reading for November for Gemini. And this is Catherine. She reads tarot. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the channel, everybody. And we are going to be looking at Gemini. We're going to be looking at a no contact twin soul love reading. So this is going to be, or twin karmic, okay, take it how it resonates. It's going to be someone that you are no longer in contact with, okay. If you are new to the channel, please make sure that you are subscribed. Also, you guys, I am going to be doing a giveaway hopefully on the 1st of the month in November. So please make sure that you hashtag win in the comment section. Hashtag win, or you can hashtag free reading. I will be doing phone readings. I will have the option to do a conference call, like a video conference reading, where you can jump on a video call with me. I'll send a link and you can jump on and see the cards, or you can get a pre-recorded reading where I read and then I will send the video to you. So it's however you prefer. It'll be the video option if you don't have a preference or a choice, of course. But other than that, you guys will have the option to be able to have a phone reading as well. I will be having 15-minute and 30-minute readings available on Saturday and Sundays. I will have hour-long readings available if you are interested. You can get a lot done in an hour. Okay. And I do customized readings as well. So keep that in mind. So the way that, okay, so first of all, before I even get into this reading, I was channeling you guys' energy, even though I do have preset questions I'm going to be asking. I was channeling in on your energy. And the first thing that happened was what just happened, but the smoke detector beeped, right? And it occurred to me like, wow, I haven't heard that sound in a long time. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, well, I must have been hearing it because it didn't just start going off. Like, this is something that is bound to have been happening, and I did not tune into it until just now when I was trying to tune in, right, to something specific. So I feel like there's an energy of something or someone that has always been present, but either you or your person has not stopped to smell the roses long enough to really see that it was right there in their face. Take it how it resonates. I don't know how that is going to come into the energy of this reading, but that is what I was channeling for you today, Gemini. All right, so the way we are going to do this, you guys, is we're going to be doing this just like a twin flame reading, twin soul reading. And we're going to be dealing out 7 cards, okay? We're going to look at your person's current energy. We will look at your current energy, your heart space towards your person, okay? So the things that are in your heart space that your person does not know or is not aware of. We will look at your person's heart space towards you, Okay, the things that they are not sharing with you, or that they did not share with you, or the things that they are thinking and feeling even now that you are not aware of, right? And then we will look at blockages and lessons in the connection. And then we'll focus on divine guidance, or that higher message to self. Okay. And then lastly, potential energy or any future movement, okay, that is coming towards you in this situation. All right, so starting with your person's current energy, Gemini. Holy Spirit, angels, and guides, tell me about Gemini's current energy. Gemini's person's current energy, sorry. Gemini's person's current energy. And so we're just going to do these. I'm going to deal these all out first, okay? Your current energy. Now we're going to look at your heart space towards this person. Now you can be cross-watching, so you could be looking at the Gemini, or this could be, your person's energy. So it just depends on who's watching. The person watching could be dating a Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Now, what is your heart space towards, or their heart space towards you? Their heart space towards you. And then we have blockages and lessons that just moved. I'm like, did I touch that? I may have, y'all, but stones have been known to move around these cards, y'all. It's crazy. Divine guidance and higher self message. I think it's just the elements or whatnot. The wind or me shaking the table. Likely, more than likely, my big legs. Potential energy and future movement. Okay. Potential energy and future movement. Okay. Feels like I have too many cards out, but I don't. Okay, so starting with your person's current energy. All right, Gemini, what do we have here? So, we have two-faced here, okay? So this person is leading some sort of double life. This is an energy of someone who is doing something behind your back, or there's something that is, this person is creating or living two different lives here. This could be an energy of someone who is married, but they're going around acting as if they're single and in relationships. Just someone who's not being honest here. Okay. They're not being honest, and someone who's wearing a mask, or someone who will switch it up. You know what I mean? Switch it up when they come around you. So take that how it resonates. So let's look at your current energy here. And of course, we're going to go back with the tarot here to see what this is all about. And we have, so your current energy is lust here. Okay. This talks about having something by any means necessary. Wanting something, no matter, what it takes to have it, or wanting something that you probably shouldn't have. This also is an energy of wanting to have more than your fair share. Okay. So there may be a situation where you're looking at something in a lustful way, and looking at it because of like your wants, not necessarily what you need out of the situation. So, yeah, there may be something that you're trying to get, and it's like your eyes are really focused on it and you really want it. No, it's like you're not looking at anything else, or you're not seeing anything else. We're going to clarify because I'm very, very intrigued about what you could be lusting after here. Let's keep looking here. So where is your heart space towards this person, right? That it says you're lusting after, right? Or that you're wanting this person by any means necessary. Now, this could, listen, before I go on, because listen, I love, love, love everybody in my collective. I really do. But everybody is not always on some up and up. And I'm just going to be honest here. And I have to be honest where I have to be honest. Everybody is not always rosy. Everybody is not always on the up and up and doing what they need to be doing in the connection. And from what it is looking like here is that you may have a situation where someone who was married may have been in a connection with you. This may have been a very physical, high chemistry, passionate connection. But I feel like when you found out about it, you didn't stop, or you continued in this situation because you wanted what you wanted, right? Or there's an energy of wanting this person no matter what the fall back is gonna be, you know what I mean? And whether you know about this person's situation or whether it is you're just not looking into it, okay, I feel like there's an energy of being inconsiderate in some way. So I feel like there's a bit of knowing, okay, on your part here, Gemini. I'm just gonna be honest. We just gonna call it the way it is, because again, this is your person's energy here, this two-faced energy, right? So let's see where your heart space is. Okay, y'all might get off the hook here, but not yet. Well, thrills. It's look, y'all. Continuous cycle, bad decisions and addictions. I told y'all. I feel like there's an energy of you guys are wanting something that you know you should not be having, or there's an energy of you're in it for the thrill of the situation and you're not really considering other things. You're being inconsiderate when it comes to this situation and this person's situation. So that's going to be the issue here, y'all. Y'all are in this by any means necessary, but at what cost, you know? So, what is this person's heart space towards you? So, considering that this is a no contact situation, right? And you're not in contact with this person, you know, how long, what is the reason for not being in contact? Is it because they're with their person, right? And you're waiting for them? Is it because they went back to their person? What's the situation? So let's see. Let's see, where is their heart space towards you, Gemini? Consequences. Oh, bad choices. Look at this. Both of you are making bad decisions and bad choices. And this person is now dealing with the consequences of it, or they're looking at you as a consequence of a bad decision. This talks about mixed signals, right? So they're giving you mixed signals. I feel like this person has gone back to their spouse, and you're now in the situation of being battered and bruised, and pissed off about it, but they're like, this is a consequence of what we had going on. You knew that this was a situation and I had to go back home at some point. So again, I'm not gonna just like, make everything all roses and pineapples and rainbows for you guys when it's not. And in this situation, this was a knowing of of this was a knowingness. And this doesn't have to be the exact situation, but it very likely could be. But it doesn't have to be. It could be a situation similar to this. It does not have to be a love situation. Okay, this could be a work thing. So take it how it resonates. Okay. But in this situation, you have two people that are making bad decisions here. And this person is now giving mixed signals. And it feels like they're playing games. You see that? Games. Okay. It feels like they're playing games with you because now this person has gone back to their person and you're just sitting there. And I feel like this may or may not be temporary. I feel like you're wanting it to not be, by any means necessary because of the lust and the thrill. But I don't feel like you're making consideration for what is truly actually happening. There's a whole nother person on the other end of this that matters more, than anything that you and this person had going on. So let's see what the blockage and lesson is or is going to be here. So let's see. Vacay. Get away, relax, and have fun. So like I said, this is the blockage. This is what is blocking. This is the lesson that you're going to have to learn, or this is what is keeping you from learning, is that everything is not all fun and games. Right? This person's playing games, making bad decisions and choices. You're making bad decisions and, falling into the same continuous cycles and addictions, and it's all a game for everybody right now. Right? It's all a game. But for how long and at what cost? Once again, at what cost? Okay. So let's see now. What is the higher message to self here? What's the divine guidance in this? Paranoid. Y'all. Spirit is saying, listen, what goes around comes around. Okay, this talks about being cautious, insecure, and guarded. You're going to be looking over your shoulder. You want to keep playing games, right? Pretty soon, it's not going to be a game, right? Because there's a whole nother player that's not being considered here, right? There's a whole nother third party energy that's not part of this little game that you and this two-faced person are playing that is not aware. We see way too many things on TikTok and YouTube about people, in third party situations getting in the middle of crap that they have no business being in. Their family, are the first ones on the news. This was the best person in the world. They would give everything to show off their back. They never knew they were involved in a third, or if they knew, So you never know what kind of situation you're going to be a part of, but this is an invitation for problems. Okay. And again, I'm seeing battered and bruised. I'm seeing potential. There's going to be some sort of potential interaction that could affect you here. And this is their heart space towards you. And they're just like, oh, well, it's a consequence of, messing with a married person. And they're the ones that were messing around with you. Like, make that make sense. But that's, stupid games win stupid prizes. So finally, let's look at the potential energy or the future movement and what you can expect, y'all. Hold on your seatbelts. Okay, so we have today. okay, for the future movement. So something could literally be happening on today that, you may want to focus on. Um, but this also talks about being in the moment, okay, and now. And it does say good vibes. I see someone who is blowing out some candles. So they're celebrating a birthday, or there's some sort of celebration. Um, I feel like with living in the moment and good vibes and now, I feel like there's an energy of you taking things day by day. I feel like there is going to be some separation because you're alone. There aren't a bunch of people or another person who's celebrating with you. No, this is a single, individual. There could be other people in the background, right? But for intents and purposes of this oracle message, she's alone and celebrating something. So you may be celebrating the fact that you were able to separate yourself from the situation. Because with paranoid here, I feel like, again, your spirit guides are telling you this is gonna be a problem. You want to walk this walk, you better be ready to talk the talk. Or if you want to talk the talk, be ready to walk the walk, vice versa. And you're sitting here like, well, you know, maybe not. Maybe I'll rethink that. Okay, spirit. And spirit is like, that's what I thought. Right? So I feel like we're going to see some progress in this situation. But let's see. Let's pull a couple more oracle messages. I'm just feeling, let's pull two more. Holy Spirit, angels, and guides, tell me about Gemini, please. Tell me about Gemini, please. I must be getting so hungry because I'm smelling all of the smells. I'm smelling green peppers and garlic. I'm smelling everything. And I ate green peppers and garlic yesterday, y'all. Holy Spirit, angels, and guides. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini, please. I'm just going to pull a couple more. Tell me about Gemini. So we have the butterfly. Yeah. Relationship evolving in the next phase. Healing the inner child and growth. I do. I feel like there's going to be a situation where you're going to evolve. Things are going to change and you're going to grow. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to stay in the situation. We have heartbroken here under the deck. I do feel very strongly there's going to be an ending. You're going to walk away from a situation. It is going to be a sad separation. You're going to mourn in this situation, but it's going to be temporary. All right. Because again, with kisses here, I feel like it's gonna start off as you feeling sad, and then it's gonna be lightweight. You know what I mean? Because you're releasing something that was toxic. So once you release it, you're gonna feel lighter. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be heavy while you're releasing it, maybe even more difficult, right? Because of the thrill that you had, temporary thrill, right? But once it's gone, you're going to feel freer. Okay. You're going to feel freer. Look, the sword and the rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity. Okay. Force, honor, protection, and power. You are going to feel so much stronger once you realize what you have just done, what you have just released. I mean, this is a big deal. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is wrong, right? Even if it is wrong. Even if it's wrong. So It's the right thing to do. So let's clarify here. Tell me about Two-Face. Tell me about Two-Face, please. Tell me about Two-Face. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Something, and I was thinking about the Four of Cups, y'all, and the Four of Swords. Look, we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. I'm smelling like green peppers cooking. It is so weird. The Knight of Cups in the reverse, y'all. Look at this. Empty promises, sweet nothings. This is someone who is telling you one thing one day and something else the other day, or someone who's back and forth, very hot and cold. They don't mean what they say. It's just a bunch of BS with this person, right? Under the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. See, this is an energy of someone who's coming around telling you that they're single, but they're not. They're doing this and it is temporary because there's something that they know that you want or something that they want from you. Do you see what I mean? So tell me about lust here. Tell me about lust. And I feel like you're wanting this person back for the thrill, or there's an energy of wanting to see this person for that reason, but there are consequences to this, right? And the consequences to this is the fact that they're back with their person and they're saying, well, you just have to deal with it because you know that I'm committed, right? So like crazy. Tell me about lust here. And this is your current energy here. Tell me about lust. Gemini's current energy. That one in the reverse, y'all. Seven of Swords in the reverse. So listen, the Seven of Swords in the upright is all about someone having an affair, right? When it's in the reverse, it's all about that affair being exposed, right? Coming out in the open. And with lust, this also talks about doing something despite all means. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's an energy of this is something that could have been exposed, it could have come out, but there's an energy of wanting what you wanted. Now, another thing that could be a strong possibility is that you didn't necessarily know that this person was married, right? You knew that there was something, however, that you didn't trust about this person. I feel like there's a knowingness. I'm not going to let you out of this. So look, we have the Seven of Cups under the deck, which does indicate confusion. Okay. I feel like, again, I'm giving you that benefit of the doubt that you did not know that this was taking place. You didn't know. I feel like there was some confusion. Now, maybe you didn't know that this person was married. Maybe you felt like this person was seeing a lot of different people, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But marriage, maybe not so much, right? Yeah. There is a higher level of commitment than what you assumed, is what I'm going to say here, right? Tell me about thrills here. This is your heart space towards this person. This was not the first time you've made this decision. And I feel like with addictions here, it was just, again, another energy of wanting what you wanted. And some of you can have addictions to being with people, and not really knowing them very well. So we have the Queen of Swords. And we have the Justice card here. Okay. The Queen of Swords and Justice here. So like I said, with the Justice card, this is like an energy of twin karmic, okay, twin soul, paired with the Queen of Swords. There's an energy of you've been down this road before, right? You've been down this road before. And there's also an indication of someone who's highly intuitive or suspicious that someone is married. So I feel like in your heart of hearts, Gemini, and I'm just going to tell you this and not to bash you or anything like that or judge you. Okay. We'll let the Justice card do that. I'm not judging you, but there's just an energy of yes, in your heart of hearts, deep down, you knew this person was in a higher level of commitment, right? So there was that knowing. Okay. Yeah. Look at this, y'all. The sun under the deck. I cannot. The truth here. See this knowing. This was a knowing. You knew the truth in your heart, in your heart of hearts, your intuition, all of that good stuff you knew, right? With consequences here, there's an energy of, this person was willing to make bad choices and you made the bad choices too, right? They were playing the games and you played the game with them, right? Tell me about consequences here and mixed signals. This is their heart space going back and forth, right? That card just went topsy-turvy. Okay. And it's the Knight of Swords. See, now they're all of a sudden, this person is rushing back to their person, right? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, here it goes, down with the axe. And you are like, damn, I should have expected this, but you didn't. With the Death card, it's over. All of a sudden, like this person switched it up on you. They changed. All of a sudden, it's back to their person. Okay? Everything has changed. It's gone back to the way it was before you came along. You know what I'm saying? And this is a thing with them. You were just having a good time. You were so busy having a good time that you know, would get away here. It's like you let this person get away with this. You know what I mean? It was all good and fun until this person actually did get away. You know what I mean? Tell me about blockage and lesson. This is going to be the lesson for you here. Okay. Look, Two of Pentacles. See? Back and forth. Okay. And I feel like you're the one that's going to end up having to adjust once this person goes back to their person. You're going to be the one left sitting, juggling. Like, wow, and this person was juggling you. They were having fun with you, right? They were having fun with you. That's what they were doing. It was all fun and games for them. And that's going to be the lesson for you. Like, I was just a game for this person. Now they're back to their person. Here I am looking stupid, right? Underneath the deck, look, 9 of Wands. I stayed around holding on to these melting candlesticks. Like, I literally held on to this situation that was doomed from the start. How was I ever going to be able to maintain this? But you juggled, you tried, you put up a damn good fight. You know what I'm saying? Until the point where Spirit stepped in and you got paranoid because you were like, oh no, Spirit is watching and I'm not feeling so right about this situation anymore. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Tell me about the higher self message or divine guidance. Yeah, you're going to be talking to yourself, and you're going to be like, no, I don't feel right. I don't think I'm going to be able to I can't want this person anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is somebody that you are not in contact with. You know they're back with their person. You know that there is a person, and there's an energy of I can't want this person anymore. I can't sit here lusting after this person, knowing they're a whole married person, right? I didn't know before. They had me before, right? They bamboozled me before, right? Because with that Nine of Pentacles, I thought they were single. With the Knight of Cups in the reverse, they were telling me what they wanted me to hear. Two-faced. They were being one way with me, and really it was a whole nother situation. So again, there was a level of this person was deceptive, but there was also a level of you knew, right? Seven of Swords in the reverse. Like, you knew this person was, maybe you felt like maybe they're not lying right now, but there's something about this person that I don't trust. Seven of Cups. And yeah, you got a whole lot of people going on. Like, you thought that this person was dating a whole lot of people. You didn't know that there was like a whole committed person, situation, a family. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know the full truth, but you knew part of the truth here. Queen of Swords, like your intuition was telling you, right, that there was more to it that meets the eye. So that's kind of enough for me, right? Especially when it comes to honoring marriage. Like, I'm just not, you know. So the Bible doesn't want you being with multiple people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you are going to be with somebody, be with them. If you're going to be single, be single. Y'all, seriously. Seriously. Okay. So tell me about paranoid here. That's why it's like that. That's why things go around that are not good for your health, because you're doing too much. Tell me about paranoid. Yeah, now you're concerned here. There's an energy of, really needing to be cautious because this person just didn't really care about you. Tell me about paranoid. Tell me about paranoid. Ooh, we got two that flipped up. Ooh, the Hierophant. Look at this. See? Marriage. And that also represents someone who has greater knowledge, or they're ascended, or they're they have a new frame of thinking. They've been educated, right? They've been learned. And we have the Ace of Wands, right? This is wrong. Okay, there's an essential energy of this person is literally cheating. Like, they're treating me like a one night stand. There's an energy of realizing that you're only there for this person's, you know passionate desires. You're not there for any level of commitment. There is the energy of they're already committed. So yeah, paranoid. You're realizing that, this is, like I said, this isn't making God happy. Okay, this sure isn't making God happy here with the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands. And listen, I don't want it. I don't want the divine guide to come and, show me. Like, I literally don't. Yeah, don't be playing games. And I feel like you're protected when you're in the covenant of marriage. That's why it's like, okay, you're going to sleep with someone and, be with that person, be committed to that person. Okay, that's fine. And, common law, that's okay. That's cool and everything. But it's binding, you know what I mean? With that contract that binds it and seals it, and it protects you. So, like, if your person goes outside of that contract, that person is going to suffer the repercussions of that. You're likely going to win a judgment because that person came against you. You know what I mean? And that they cheated on you, not the other way around. Okay. And you'll be let out of the contract at that point. So, yeah, And it's pretty much the way it goes with marriage and divorce, if you ask any attorney. So let's see. Tell me about today. Potential energy here is today, future movement. Again, I see you making a decision that's good for you. Okay. Right away. I see you sometime later celebrating yourself. Okay. And celebrating the fact that you chose you rather than being in this third party triangular situation. Tell me about today, please, for Gemini. Beautiful reading, Gemini. Tell me about today, please, for Gemini. Okay. Ooh, look at that, baby. You are the star. Look at this. This talks about hope, healing, all of this transformation. Things are rejuvenating, replenishing. You are getting you back. Okay. You are getting you back, Gemini. Wow. Under the deck, we have the Five of Cups with the Lovers. Look at this. After having gone through a very difficult separation. See what I'm saying? There's an energy of knowing that things didn't go the way you wanted them to, but that it was meant for this. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like doomed from the start type energy. You know what I mean? But with the star here, you've healed from that. You've grown from that, right? You've grown. This is very beautiful. You are going to heal. And I feel like also there may be times where you may have moments, right? Because again, very difficult, very hard. I feel like you fell for this person, but I feel like it was, like I said, a lustful situation. You're realizing today, right? That it was in the moment. You're realizing that it was a lustful situation. It wasn't something that was going to carry on into the future. You know, you had good vibes with that person, and that's pretty much all that was. Now you're celebrating you. You know, you're going to be committed to you. And I feel like this may be 5 years since you've been with this married person. So there's an energy of, you know, you chose you 5 years ago, right? And with butterfly here, and look, butterfly, heartbroken, and kisses. This is like this right here, the star. Look, the Lovers and the freaking Five of Cups. Y'all, the Five of Cups is heartbroken. The Lovers is kisses here. And the star is the butterfly. I'm telling you right now, what a beautiful reading, Gemini. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. I hope you guys enjoyed the message. Like the video, you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell, hitting all, so you can be notified when all my readings are posting. I love you guys so much. Stay tuned because we are coming up with Cancer coming up next. I love you guys, and I'll see you there. Bye.